Good evening. This is John Serrata, and this will be my brief discussion about sexism and poverty. I tried to shoot this video a couple of times and got a little bit too long, so I'll try to make my points a little bit clearer and quicker. So just quick explanations. I'm sure you've seen these a few times this week. What is sexism? What is poverty? So I wanted to touch on poverty first. Just a food for thought. I thought it was interesting that in the 1940s, big business was paying 40% of U.S. taxes, and today we see that below the 10% mark. Um, and that's staggering compared to what a lot of people in middle class or in poverty are expected to pay on their yearly taxes. That number and that discussion can go very far. The loss of leaders like MLK, Medgar Evers, Malcolm X, and many more between the 50s and 70s. I think it's interesting that all these men spoke greatly about what great accomplishments had been reached, but how much the fight had to continue because though we are declared an equal nation, and there was great accomplishments made in the civil rights movement, it was still evident that segregation and inequality and inequitable situation uh, was staring at those in low income or impoverished areas for the future. And we can still see that segregation in some ways connected to school still. Um, and or if what do children gain from not having equal education? They're probably not going to have equal job opportunities, finance opportunities, health coverage, personal growth at all. They're not going to get aid in life skills, life coaching, and the opportunities just won't be there. And like Kozel says, you can measure that any way you want. Math scores, English scores. You can do a census on income around the area. He's like, but either way, he nailed it on the head. The savage inequalities are there. They've always been there. They're still there. And unfortunately, we haven't reached the point where every single child has equal opportunity to education, regardless of their color or of their family's financial institution. Uh, so why are communities taking care of things? Well, where would the money be coming from, for one? Why are we saying that I don't live there, not my problem? If the greater good is to better our children's lives and have good education for them, then every kid should have good education. Also, what could happen? Candace Summer, her TED Talk was awesome. She talked on a lot of points, a lot of the ones I just touched on, but also the book with the connection I felt about school stratification. What a great way to start off the reading with that, because that is very bold and very honest to what's happening in the education system still to this day. It offers opportunity for lower expectations of those students. Utilizes the school to be taken over in a way that tracking is used for everything, which we know doesn't always yield proper data, does not always really put the child where he or she should be, and it opens up opportunity to what I like to call a trial by fire of new programs. Let's try this. Let's try that. Let somebody use this for 6 months. It doesn't yield out with the data we want. We're going to get rid of it. And it starts using kids as a guinea pig, more than really focusing on how to teach each student effectively and with equitable. You're meeting them all at an equal level. Love to take in. What a conversation this could be or is. But it's a topic that I think as educators, sexism and poverty, we need to keep ourselves connected to the fact that these things are still occurring, and we need to focus on how in our own classrooms to make sure that they aren't occurring. So sexism, these are the things that still frustrate me. Gender roles are still a thing. We still play the game of who's inferior, brains to bronze, and who could do what, who couldn't do this, and who'd be better for that, instead of discussing just basically which type of individual would be good at such this and such that. It's still broken down to he, she. Most people still think in an individualistic way or an egalitarian way. It still does have a lot of black and white in the discussion of men, women. Women and those of color are still paid less, not only at a basic job, but career level positions, whether that be the starting wage or the end wage, the salary. It's still known, still a discussion. We just can't simply pull the trigger and allow everybody that if you're a hard worker, you're a good worker, you're an educated worker, then you should get paid at the same level as those around you. If we look at the loan system in America, educational system for getting into college, like a lot of it is typically a yes, 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 yes for the white male, whereas women and those of color still need to jump through a lot of hoops and are told no. Uh, I kind of had this thing in here about could sexism be used subtly? The book talked about it a bit, um, and I think you can go deeper into deeper conversation of I think men and women can both be at fault for using their that very thing to their advantage per se in a time of just not wanting to maybe do something or maybe gain something little. And I think we all might do it subconsciously, not even knowing that we're doing it. I think we've gotten better as a collective of people though. But for example, girls are always tough, but maybe at work one day when it comes to doing a lot of heavy lifting, it's not that the girl couldn't do it. Maybe she just didn't want to do it and get sweatier. So maybe she'll say, "Oh, I'm a girl; it's too heavy for me." But maybe a couple weeks earlier, she's a person saying that, girls, I can lift this, I can lift that. And maybe men, we could say that men do this kind of thing when they become new fathers or having to do with kids. Oh, I don't know how to change Johnny's diaper, or I don't know how to, that's a woman's thing. I'm just so dumb, I don't know how to do these things, So I think some people, we like to go back and forth at times, not like fully. We know that those things are wrong, and people shouldn't be stereotyped because of male female. And I think the bigger question is, when we do these things, we're affecting the progress that we have made, and we have to remember that if we're going to have a discussion about it and we're going to try to move forward with it, we can't subtly go back at times just to benefit a moment. So I thought that was interesting that was touched on in the reading, because I'd like to have that kind of conversation with a group of people. I think it'd be an interesting insight to how people see this subtleness. And just simply, can we do better on sexism and how to go after poverty? Of course we can. It's simple, yes. But it's evident through Kozel, through Summer, through anybody that has opened their eyes to what's occurring. We have to collectively resolve these issues. This can't be put on a neighborhood, a town. It needs to be a collective of people to better the lives of those around them and to offer a child an opportunity to have the same equal opportunity as every other child in America. Thank you.